What's good, everybody? How's everybody doing today? I know it's been a while, but I'm back. How's life been treating y'all? Hope life's been going well. Um, by the way, happy Valentine's Day to all the females out there. Hope you all have a safe and prosperous Valentine's Day. Obviously, not to do anything stupid, not to do anything outrageous, of course. Um, Obviously, don't be a dickhead. But to all the females out there, um, happy Valentine's Day. Um, so speaking of all the females today, um, this video is figured since it is Valentine's Day, I figured that it's still gonna be wrestling based, but it's gonna be about the women's division of NXT. You know, it kind of goes unnoticed from time to time, but NXT's women's division is kind of that, you know, the sleeper division in pro wrestling right now that nobody talks about simply because it comes on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. on the USA Network. But nobody really talks about it all that much. I mean, but there's talent down there that most likely is going to get called up to the main roster, talent in which could be the future of WWE's women's division as a whole. And we'll see what happens. But I watch NXT every Tuesday night, and I have to say I'm impressed with what they've done with that women's division. HBK deserves a lot of credit with what he's done with that women's division, and he deserves a pat on the back because there were rough times. The women's division down there in NXT wasn't all that hot, but due to his booking and his knowledge, he's turned that women's division around greatly. So, yeah, can't wait to see what happens. But with it being Valentine's Day, like I said, I figured, I'd make this video to all those females out there who watch wrestling or are wrestling fans. Um, you know, Not sure you all are familiar with NXT, but for those of you that don't know what NXT is, it's a developmental brand, came around 2012. And from there, I mean, it's put out some of the business's biggest names like Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bailey, Sasha Banks, the Four Horsemen of women's wrestling, Rhea Ripley, Nia Jax, Asuka, Kairi Sane, Io Sky, just the women you see of today. And, you know, they've gone on to do great things, really great things. And, you know, NXT is currently building up the women of the future. So, like I said, can't wait to see what happens. But don't want to keep you ladies, waiting any longer because I know you all have got plans to do. So, let's get into the video. Again, this is for the ladies only. The success of the NXT women's division. You have TNA's Knockouts division. You have AEW's women's division. You have Raw's women's division. You have SmackDown women's divisions. All those divisions are talented, but the one division you may not have heard of much is the NXT women's division. This week, I will be talking about the success of NXT's women's division and how it's gone, and how it's gone a long way since the black and gold days. Storytelling. The storytelling in NXT's women's division has come a long way under HBK's knowledge, and I will explain why. It feels very similar to the black and gold days under Triple H, where you always had storytelling that would always get the casual viewer invested. It feels like the old days where you had freedom. The storytelling is booked with the term long term booking, meaning that they book for the long term and not short term. Storytelling has stories that not only involve the title, but doesn't involve the title. Like, for example, the storyline between Fallon Henley and Brooks Jensen. Although, although this may be more of a love story, but still it has a storyline. It's all about storytelling. That's what people care about the most. And speaking of good storytelling, I think you might see Lola Vice and Lyra Valkyria have a big time program. Who knows? So I want to hit a little bit more on the storytelling factor. Even though Brooks Jensen and Fallon Henley are in a current storyline, and even though it might be a love story more than anything, it's still a storyline and it's going to get the casual viewer invested. Um, and that's what people care about, not for the short term, but for the long term. Hopefully, the story between Fallon Henley and Brooks Jensen goes long term. And, I feel like this could be a step in the right direction in terms of Henley getting called up to the main roster down the line. I think it is. Lola Vice is definitely a, you know, another one that could very well be on her way to being called up on the main roster. So, yeah, not short term booking, but for the long term. And that's where I think NXT storytelling really shines through WWE as a whole. Talent, part two. The talent level in the NXT women's division is very underrated because nobody talks about it. And these names I will give you will get your attention when they come up to the main roster. Roxanne Perez, who wrestled in a promotion called Reality of Wrestling that is located in Houston, Texas, came over to NXT and has been one of the faces of the division. Perez won the NXT Breakout Tournament and is a former NXT Women's Champ and Women's Tag Team Champ. Another name, another name that many people like and consider the future of WWE's women's division is Tiffany Stratton. Tiffy Time has taken the whole wrestling world by storm with her background in gymnastics, along with her ever-growing style. Tiffy Time on her surely on her way to becoming a world champ on the main roster. She got called up to the Blue Brand last week, of course. Lara Valkyria is on the rise as well. She is the current NXT Women's Champion, and she has busted her ass to get there. The Ireland native is not a stranger to success. I feel that Lara, just like others, are well on their way to success. Lara, just like Tiffy Tom and Roxy Perez, have a unique skill set that is unmatched. I could easily see Lara going to Monday Night Raw, the red brand. Could we see could we use her talent? Wait, hold on. The red brand could use her talent and she would greatly improve that division. Honorable mentions are Cora Jade, Thea Hill, Lola Vice, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, Blair Davenport, and Fallon Henley, plus Kiana James and more. So this talent pool in the NXT women's division, they have a great mixture of both indie stars and stars that haven't quite been established yet. I'll just give you some established stars. You've got obviously Roxy. You've got Lara Valkyria. You've got Fallon Henley. You've got Blair Davenport. You've got obviously Cora Jade, who's obviously on the shelf right now with the injury. Thea Hill, Lola Vice, Gigi Dolan, JC Jade. All those names are established, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, Lola Vice isn't quite there yet, although she's looking quite well, but she isn't quite there yet. Lash Legend is well on her way to becoming something special. Kiani Jordan, that that she's talented as well. You've got who else we got there? What we got? I'll say what's another great um I'll say Nikita Lyons. Now, even though she's an established star, she's been injured. And so who knows? But definitely, this NXT talent pool is on the verge of something special, I think. And with the route that HBK is bringing them on, they could they could be the future when this current crop on the main roster starts to take a step back. They could be called up. And finally, what's next? The future is bright for the NXT for the women's division on NXT, and there's a lot to look forward to. As you all know, we're officially on the road to WrestleMania 40 and NXT's premier event, Stand and Deliver. I believe the women are going to kill it. Kudos to HBK for turning this division around. I'm excited to see what happens next. God bless. So that was my video on the success of the NXT women's division. I hope you found it to be very informative. And yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah. So thank you for being here. I mean, if you like what you hear, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think about the NXT Women's Division. Is it a division that you would get invested in? Is it a division that intrigues you? If so, let me know what you think in the comments below. And until next time, guys, God bless.